Javier Harkin opening up the second half. Are you ready for your second act in the second half? Again, a fantastic act. Very good friend of mine. Give all the love and warmth he got on Welcome stage. Mr. Scott Bennett, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Comedy Store. How are we? Nice to be here in the Northwest. It's a great gig, this. One of the few that doesn't stop halfway through for a meat raffle. So that's a bit of a treat. I like Manchester. It's like London, but with eye contact, isn't it? It's good. Because sometimes you don't often do gigs as nice as this. I was doing one the other night in Barnsley. Familiar with Barnsley? Odd people. They think the film Kes was a documentary. But basically, it didn't go well. Before the show, the barman picked up the microphone, right, made this announcement. Would the owner of the pink Nissan Micra, with the eyelashes on the headlamps, please leave and take a long look at your life? Which, yeah, you're laughing. I had to fucking move it, which was it's a tough start. But I'm heading back there tomorrow. I'm going to go see my dad. I love my dad. He's a good man. He's recently retired. Have we got any retired folk in? One. Rest of us still contributing, how it should be. We'll keep you in Werther's Originals and walking baths. You relax. But my dad loves being retired, Manchester. I'll tell you why. It's because he's now paying the world back one day at a time for all the misery it's caused him. This is his whole life, right? He sets his alarm 8 o'clock every morning, gets up, gets out into rush hour traffic, and just gets in everyone's way. That is a day out for that bell end, honestly. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Sometimes he'll even take the car, and that's... Of course he takes the car. How else would you tow a caravan? Do you know what I mean? But... You remind me of my dad, mate. Do you know that? Yeah. Because he's bitterly disappointed in me as well. Cheer up. So, here for comedy, aren't we? But, I'll tell you about him, though. He's called Roy, is my dad. That's a manly name. Is he called Roy? Jesus! Dad! Sit at the back, dickhead. That's Derren Brown shit, that, isn't it? You can back me up on this, right? Roy is such a manly name, right? People called Roy emerged from the womb already able to grout a bathroom. That is a fact. What do you do for a job? Plumber. I'm right. Come on. Or Tyler. Either thing works. But so you're called Roy. My God, this is going to be weird for you, isn't it, mate? This is the other thing about Roy, right? Technology's left him behind, right? He bought himself an iPad so he could FaceTime my daughter. He hasn't quite got the hang of that because he still rings us first. Half an hour before to ask if we're ready for the FaceTime. It's not Live Aid, mate, just do it. He comes down, he's in a suit, he's done his hair. I don't know where he thinks he's been beamed to, like it's his chance, and he can't use the camera. It's frustrating. For 2 weeks we were being FaceTimed by a fridge freezer. Right, there's nothing there, right, and all of a sudden, this eye just comes creeping in. Oh. It reveals itself. Here's Grandad. How's that little granddaughter? Terrified, mate. Just been FaceTimed by the hills of eyes, dickhead. What's wrong with you? He doesn't trust technology. I was in the car with it. He's got a sat-nav, right? Switches it on, puts in the postcode, doesn't follow it. Who does that? He drives against it just so it has to reroute and agree with him. That is a special kind of bellend that lives their life that way. I can't be in there. Dad, she's just said to go left. No, she always gets it wrong, this woman, son. Then he said, you watch, she'll change her mind in a minute. Driving round like pricks. Yeah. 72 is Roy. He's reached that wonderful age where he doesn't care anymore. I was round there the other week. He was polishing his car with a pair of old underpants. I said, Dad, come on, mate, at least take them off, because you just haven't got the flexibility. No one wants to see you grinding up the side of an Octavia like a geriatric Beyonce. Put your top on, dickhead. What's wrong with you? Obsessed with bargains is Roy. It's in his DNA, isn't it? I get phone calls from him. They're not normal. I got one this morning. Picks up the phone. Do you like Muller rice? Who starts with that? Who starts with that? Do you like Muller rice? I said, they're all right, Dad. Why? Lidl, 3 for 2. Thank me later. Bang, that was it. It's the whole I've said to him, that's not a phone call, mate. That's a shit Groupon. That's what that is. Need it in my life. This is why a Yorkshireman will never use a phone sex line. Do you know that? It's true, this. You know, like those babe station programmes late night. Imagine he comes through at the studio, she's there on the bed. Tell me what you want me to do, love. Let that imagination run wild. I'll do anything. What, anything? Anything. Will you ring us back, love? You're not getting the idea, mate. FaceTime me, I'm the one with the fridge freezer. But, see, it's come full circle for me now. I'm a dad myself. I've got a daughter, she's 5, although she's 3 when we go swimming. Little trick of my dad's. Get on board with the fraud. She made me a card the other week. It said, to my favourite daddy. And that is no way to break that sort of news to anyone, is it? It's brutal, that. Kids, she loves kids' television. It's great. Kids' television. CBeebies on from 6 in the morning till 7 at night. And when that goes off, it's awful because you're on your own then, aren't you? There's Boomerang, that's on till midnight if you're a slightly shitter parent, right? There's a new one now, Tiny Pop, Through the Night. Through the night? Who's watching that? Kids who work shifts, drive lorries, and have just come in from fucking clubbing, presumably. People on crystal meth watching My Little Pony at 4 in the fucking morning. I've had another one. She's 6 months old, does nothing. Every day's a disappointment. It's like looking after a port loin joint at a moment. No, honest, no. Put it on its back, keep it warm, check on it every 2 hours. It's the same. It's exactly the same. Tell you what, though, that birth was quick. That kid came out like it was in the luge. It was... If it hadn't been for the umbilical cord, we'd have lost it. 25 minutes from going in to coming out. That was the whole... But do you know, 25... Do you know what my dad said? 25 minutes. That's amazing. I bet you didn't even need to pay for the parking. Nice one. Could have kept the engine running, done laps. We're trying to reconnect again, me and my wife. Spending a lot of time together. Tomorrow we're off to IKEA. Yeah, because we fancy a row, so that's where... Trying to make an effort, though. We have those nights in. Do you know those nights in? You have, snuggled up on the sofa. Each of you on your own phones. Just browsing through Facebook to find the people you should have married. Little things chip away at you, though, when you've been together a while. Like my wife molts. That's not funny anymore now. It's like living with a Labrador. I followed her into the bathroom earlier tonight. I says, I love you, love, but look at this. I've only had a shower. I said, with Teen Wolf? Have you been jet washing Ewoks in there? Look at... Okay, and there's stuff in the plug hole. I'm pulling at that for hours. Just keeps coming. Sometimes it pulls back. I think I've got a dead tramp under my bath. I'm going to say this, though, before I go. This is what I'm going to leave you on. I think women are the more powerful sex. Would you agree with that? Yeah. I have no... Do you know what my jobs are at home? 2 jobs. Sniff the milk to see if it's off. I got that wrong on last week. That's gone. And fucking ruin cling film. That's all I... Pull it from the... Just watch me. Pull it from the middle. Why is this beyond you, you useless bellend? Why... I'll tell you this before I go, right? This is why women are the more powerful sex. I was out somewhere the other week with my wife, and I annoyed her, and I knew I had because I was speaking, right? That's the... Don't do that, right? Just never... She reached out, she didn't say anything, brushed her hand down my arm like that, subtle, all the way to my leg, all the way along to the knee. She just gave it a little squeeze, and she leaned right in, and I thought, oh, fuck. And she said, here, come here. We've all had a laugh. Right, bit of a giggle. But that's you done now. Is she in? Yeah, that was me done. Couldn't come back from that. I was scared a little bit of weed came out. Manchester, you've been genuinely lovely. I hope to come back again soon. Thank you, good night.
Scott Bennett, ladies and gentlemen, for Scott Bennett. You may have noticed that Scott did a slightly shorter set there, this being the Comedy Store and the finest comedy club in the land, that new acts want to come on here and see if they can play the club. That was one of Scott's first goes on this magnificent stage. Give him a huge round of applause. Fine work indeed. Fine young man. We'll beat him up in the dressing room and nick all his best jokes. That's how it works. That's showbiz. A tough old game. That's what we say.